news. Manchin says he wouldn't serve as Harris's VP. Bro, who asked? Joe Manchin, shut your bitch ass up. Ain't nobody cares about this dumb bro. He's just personally, he's got like 2 dumbass donors and like Matty Iglesias on his side. And he thinks that there's motion here. Okay. There is no motion. Joe Manchin, you have no motion. Joe Manchin, a competent administration will be coming after you and your family members for inappropriate dealings and conflicts of interest a mile long. You're irrelevant. You dropped out of the Democratic Party. Fuck you. He's such an annoying little loser. I can't stand this motherfucker, bro. I swear. Oh, I won't be vice president for Kamala Harris. It's like, nobody wants you to be Kamala Harris's VP, man. Who the fuck asked? Who the absolute asked you, Joe? Ain't nobody asked for this. Yeah, Joe Manchin has that chaotic, like, how do I make this about myself energy, which is pretty funny. He's just like, wow, historic events are happening. How do I put myself on the front lines of this conversation? What is this?
It is the weirdest thing to me. Democrats say that it is racist to believe, well, they say it's racist to do anything. I had a Diet Mountain Dew yesterday.
This is a really bad narrative. This sucks. This is so 2016 coded. Yeah, good luck, dude. Good luck, guys. Hey, good luck. Joe Biden was president for the past 4 years. I don't know if you know that. He is literally racist. Joe Biden, who was the Barack Obama administration's hand-selected candidate for vice presidency, was hand-selected because he had a track record of being kind of racist and routinely making off-color remarks, okay? Good luck, though.
Yesterday, and one today. I'm sure they're going to call that racist, too, but...
I'm going to tell you something, okay? If drinking Diet Mountain Dew is racist, I'm a Klans member, okay? Ain't nobody's out here saying drinking Diet Mountain Dew is racist. Like, the fuck do you mean? What a dumb argument. Oh, you can't whip up this kind of narrative, dude. You can't do that. You can't do that.
It's good. I love you guys.
Oh, no aura. No aura. 0 aura. Minus 1,000 aura points. This is worse than Kamala Harris. This reads worse than Kamala Harris. I'll say it. It 100% is cringe. Some reports that they're regretting picking Vance. Oh, you think? I mean, yeah, duh. This is JD Vance's basket of deplorables moment. Mark my words. Dude, I'm invested in Bashar. I think Bashar al-Assad, the Lion of Kentucky, okay? He would be a phenomenal VP pick. That's my top pick, even more than Pritzker, even though I do like Pritzker.
Because if Joe Biden isn't fit to run for president, he's not fit to serve as president. And Trump agreed, saying Biden wasn't fit to serve from the very beginning.
Kamala was in on it.
His campaign already treating Harris like the person to beat, attacking her in a new ad.
Kamala owns this failed record.
So as you can see, the campaign is underway already, but the president has...
Dude, Andy Bashar, you're like, oh, don't take him away from Kentucky. Brother, Kentucky has one of the deepest, most reddest state legislatures in the country. What are you talking about? He is phenomenal at, exercising his veto power, but he has a veto-proof supermajority of some of the biggest freaks you've ever seen. Okay, so like technically he's kind of being wasted in Kentucky. And yeah, his lieutenant governor can take over. Not sure he would be as charismatic. Bro, he's so goddamn white. I mean, chat, give me the photo. Give me the family photo. Send me the goddamn family photo, please. Bashar clip from this morning on Morning Joe. No, I don't want to just show you. I don't want to just show you something about this person is young, he's vibrant, he's dynamic, and most importantly, he has my favorite quality in red state Democrats, which is, well, not this. he has my favorite quality in red state Democrats, which is where he doesn't back down when it comes to like shit that most Democrats would panic over. That story about trans people coming to the Capitol, the state Capitol, and him like taking photos with them, like the Satanist trans people or whatever, like his response to that was beautiful. Okay. That energy is what is needed in the Democratic Party. Like, this is not a joke. Andy Bashar won twice in a very red state and campaigned on abortion rights while standing up for trans rights. He's perfect for this year and would be a great contrast to Trump and Vance. Okay. That is the Lion of Kentucky right there, folks. I'm telling you right now. Look at his family. First of all, God damn, dude. They are so white. It's like a flashbang. When you click on this photo, it's like it blinded half of my Zoomer audience.
So interesting.
Governor Bashar on his reelection and vetoing anti-trans bills. All children are children of God. I was going to stand up for the most marginalized children who didn't deserve either a state legislature or an entire campaign picking on them.
In a lot of ways, but one of the issues that came up was, of course, trans rights. I mean, you did not hesitate to veto a sweeping anti-trans bill passed by the Kentucky state legislature, but your opponents still kind of came after, they also, because of that, probably came after you on that. It didn't work. What does that tell you about the effectiveness of this kind of an attack and, this approach from a lot of Republicans out there?
Well, all children are children of God. That's what my faith teaches me, and I was going to stand up especially for the most marginalized children that didn't deserve either a state legislature or an entire campaign and all these super PACs picking on them. These are individuals that are already at the margins. The studies show suffer more mental health issues, are more at risk for suicide. We ought to be in the suicide prevention business and not further harming kids who are going through too much. I did it because it was the right thing, but I will say the way these super PACs
I'm so pilled on him, dude. It's not even, it's just, he's such a goated pick. He is so good. And it was that story. It was the story where one of those freaks in his own state legislature that came out and was like, how dare you take a photo with them trans pedophiles? And he just straight up was like, those are Kentuckians, okay? Those are people from the state. Those are my people. They came to the state, and I'm not going to apologize for taking a photo with them. And I would do that every day, okay? And he also demanded that the state legislator apologize to every person that he took a photo with. Yeah. Governor's photo with drag queens stirs controversy in Kentucky. The Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, an activist drag troupe, said the controversy has helped further their goal of passing a statewide non-discrimination law. Okay? Kentucky Governor Andy Bashar, a Democrat, made history last week when he became the first governor in a state to appear at a rally for a Louisville-based fairness campaign, upholding a campaign promise to support LGBTQ rights. Each year since 1999, when Kentucky's first ever non-discrimination ordinances were passed into law, the City Council of Louisville and Lexington, the Fairness Campaign has lobbied lawmakers to make such discrimination illegal statewide. Shouldn't we be picking someone who supports policies that would create long-term power for the labor movement and left in general? What's his record on pushing organized labor power? For example, Pritzker got there. Oh, dude, no. Pritzker is a phenomenal pick. You're absolutely right on that. I'm just saying, I really like him. I really like his energy. Like, for example, Pritzker got the right to collective bargaining in the Illinois Constitution. Social issues are important, but I don't think this is quite enough for me. I think that as the VP pick, like, it seems like Kamala Harris, at least in her track record, is like going to be as pro-labor as Biden, which I would say is like fairly pro-labor, if we're being honest, and perhaps even more pro-labor than Biden. Like, there is no indication to me that Kamala Harris is going to be anti-union or anti-labor in a way that like separates her from Joe Biden. Shapiro's terrible. Yes, we agree on that. The VP pick is going to be where the party goes next. Seems like we want the most left-wing person we can get, in my opinion. I agree. I love Pritzker. I would love a big boy ticket. The other reason why I really like Bashar, whatever, however you say it, he's decent, I think, on labor. But beyond that, he dismantled the charter school efforts in Kentucky as governor and openly stood on business on that front as well. And like, Pritzker is, one, a billionaire. I like him a lot. He's very likable. His instincts are good. And I think more importantly, my turning moment on Pritzker was when he like tweeted that pro-trans thing that was like really goofy, but it was like obviously a bad thing to tweet. But he like, but it was so obvious that his heart was in the right place. Like it's so obvious to me that he is like the type of person that is like genuinely earnest and is not like a political machine person. However, he's in Illinois. The reason why I like Bashar is that Kentucky is deep red and he sticks it to the Republicans. Like, maybe I'm being too much of a Democratic Party guy when I say this, but I think one of the things that I absolutely despise, okay? Oh, it was this tweet. Yes, you found it. As a protest against Trump's rescinding protections for trans kids, everyone should use the other gender's bathroom today. Hashtag protect trans kids. Like, that's such a stupid thing to tweet out, but it's like so obvious that this was not focus grouped, polled, and tested, right? He fired that off himself. Okay, that's a genuine take. And I get the spirit of the take. I get the energy that he placed on it, and I like it. Okay? So I was not being literal, but I think today and every day we should be standing up for all our kids. Hashtag resist Trump. So one of the reasons why I really like Bashar, I'm going to keep calling him Bashar. Please stop yelling at me. One of the reasons why I really like him is because like I said, one of the aspects that's lost in the Democratic Party and rarely ever occurs is a red state Democrat, or any kind of Democrat really, that sticks it to the Republicans, but especially a red state Democrat. Okay? Red state Democrats are propped up for being ideologically fluid. And I hate that. I hate that. I despise that to the bottom of my soul. I despise it. It's cowardly. It's bad. It's not a good idea at all. And I despise it. He does not do that. And I think that's really important. I just do not trust Southern Democrats. They're usually anti-labor. I don't think Bashar is anti-labor. Let's see. I mean, he backed the UAW strike. He went to the picket line. He went to the picket, I'm pretty sure. Here's a post from him saying, unions are the backbone of our economy, helping our Kentucky workers' lives better, live better lives through promising careers. It was great to meet with the smart local 110 sheet metal workers to talk about the wins we're seeing and how we can work together to keep building on our progress. Here's how he is with the UAW. Unions have helped build our country and raise the standard of living and quality of life for workers. The fact that he's also anti-charter school is huge. Like that is probably an even bigger indication that he is pro-labor, because we all know that like the real reason for charter schools, aside from segregating schools, is specifically to abolish teachers' unions in this country at a time when you know they're already diminished. As Attorney General, he spoke out against right to work, and he's phenomenally popular, one of the most popular governors, and that's from the Kentucky State AFL-CIO. Like I said, these are the reasons why I am Bashar pilled. Here's the AFL-CIO also writing in 2023 November, if we don't have Bashar back in there, we won't have a firewall anymore. I'm so scared that they're going to go with Pete Buttigieg, though. Now, that's a motherfucker who's not pro-labor, okay? He doesn't have the instinct. He only fights in a way that appeals to liberals. He's just, he is basically our J.D. Vance. He's got more charisma than J.D. Vance, but that's not saying much because J.D. Vance is like a Donald Trump Jr. style pick. Anyway, the line of Louisville, baby. Yeah, that would be terrible. Do you remember on the picket line? He sounded like a strikebreaker spy. I know. That's what I'm saying. I mean, he's a McKenzie guy. No shot. No shot. Even though he can stand on the side deal that he cut as labor, or not as labor, as transportation secretary with the railroad companies, that the railroad unions were pretty positive on overall. It wasn't the best deal, but it wasn't the best deal, but it definitely wasn't bad. And it was, broadly popular by the railroad unions. He could say that, but even then, I don't trust him at all. If he didn't have a hostile supermajority in Kentucky legislature, do you think he'd be as gung-ho about his leftist policies? That's actually an interesting question. I think yes, because Why would he be gung-ho right now about his leftist policies with an incredibly hostile red supermajority? He's the governor. He can just be like, well, my hands are tied. Do you see what I'm saying? Like if he thought personally that like there is a good reason for him to be, you know, kind of wishy-washy on a lot of these like leftist policies, he could so easily just say, well, my hands are tied. Look at what I'm working with. You know what I mean? Comes from a politically progressive Democrat family. Father was a governor of Kentucky as we transitioned into a red state. Anyway, we're gonna cover him talking about JD Vance in a second. I'm kind of jumping over things that I wanted to get to in a timely manner because I just got, you know, I'm a fan of this man. Like as far as I've seen, he seems like a really, really solid choice. Okay. Pete is a great choice. No, he's not. You just saw one tweet and you're going along with it. If President Biden drops out, this is our best ticket. Kamala Harris, a career prosecutor versus convicted felon, a Midwestern mayor and Secretary of Transportation who's created hundreds of thousands of blue-collar jobs versus a Midwestern first-term senator who's done nothing. No. Bashar absolutely destroys Pete Buttigieg. Pete Buttigieg doesn't read as like a Midwesterner anyway. He reads in the same exact way that JD Vance reads, a liberal institutionalist. Anyway. Like, I don't even care. Like, people will say, oh, well, also Pete's gay. And there's already a woman, a black and Indian woman on the ticket. So we need like a heterosexual white guy, like a really white guy, right? That's not even a thing for Pete, I don't think. Pete doesn't even read as gay. Let's be real. I mean, they'll say like homophobic shit to him, but like that's not even a question. My criticisms of Pete Buttigieg come from the fact that even from like a vibes-based attitude, I think he reads as like a smug liberal. He doesn't have like he doesn't have like good retail politician instincts at all. Biden, at least at his best, was a solid retail politics guy. He's not very good at that. He's too much of a well-read, oralist, rizless, annoying, smarmy Democrat. Yeah, he's bland and irritating. Like Pete Buttigieg would never tweet about how because of our interest in protecting trans people, everyone should go use the the opposite gender's bathroom today. He would never do such a thing. Okay, he's exactly the type of dude who focus groups every single goddamn tweet and message. He's got a focus group happening in the back of his mind at all times. He's a McKinsey guy. Anyway, but yeah, he's pro-union. He's spoken out against right to work. He's eviscerated charter schools in his state. He's goated.
My opponent went about their campaign was just mean.
PA Governor Shapiro, no.
And it was gross and it was cruel. And people don't like that. That is not who we are. And this ought to be a message that you can't scapegoat people just to get folks angry. And it's wrong. Right? Think about what some people are doing, trying to dehumanize other human beings, trying to turn people against each other, to even...
Like, my dream would be something between Gretchen Whitmer, J.B. Pritzker, and Bashar. I think, like, those three are pretty solid. Obviously, I wouldn't go with Kamala Harris. Like, she's not my top pick for this at all. But Kamala Harris is going to be the nominee. You know what I mean? She's going to be the nominee for the Democratic Party. So, and Gretchen Whitmer is not running for VP, and I don't even think she'd be good on the VP slot for this ticket in general. Anyway, let's
foster
continue.
Hate and anger towards another American here, another Kentuckian. Why? So you can elect one more person that has a certain letter behind their name. Listen, this can't be right and left. Some things have to be basic right and wrong, and we've got to get our politics back to where we ask the basic question of right and wrong. There's got to be limits. I mean, this can't be a ruleless type of game because it's so much more than a game. Ask any of these kids.
This is him talking about running on and winning on a pro-trans message in Kentucky, okay? And like in 2023, he was voted as one of the most popular governors in the country, okay? He was really popular in 2020, no? No. I mean, he was more popular than Kamala Harris, but not exactly popular, no. Anyway, who do you think is the most likely VP pick? I do think Bashar would be best, but I think we're going to get Buttigieg. I hope not. Anyway, let's get back to the stories first, and then I'll talk more about the VP slots.
Said he will address the nation in the coming days. We wait to see what he has to say there. And the work of governing continues because both the president and the vice president are scheduled to have separate meetings with the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu later this week in Washington.
Wouldn't Josh Shapiro be the best pick strategically for winning Pennsylvania? Yes, but I don't think Shapiro's is good. Like, I am ideologically opposed to Shapiro. I think that he is, I think that he's too conservative overall. We'll get to that. Stop asking me questions about VP slots.
And guys, consider the enormity of this decision. 2024 is now set to be the first presidential election since 1976 without a candidate named Bush, Clinton, or Biden on the ballot. Tony?
It is a new era, Ed. Thank you very much.
It killed Hillary to endorse Kamala. Is so funny because, like, I don't even think she personally officially did it from her account. I think they did it from Bill's account, right? Am I wrong? She might have actually personally done it too, but like, I think it was Bill Clinton that actually posted it and said, like, me and Hillary. She just retweeted it. Oh, okay. Oh, it's so good. Oh, she has tweeted since. Oh, on fire. Fingertips on fire. Wait, and even here, she doesn't even mention. Even here, she doesn't mention Kamala Harris. She can't even do it. She can't get herself to do it. She won't say her name, bro. Oh, you know, she's like, when we elect our first woman president, could be me. Oh my God. She's like, yeah, sure. I'll leave it out. I'll leave it out in the... She's going to contest. Nah, she's not. She's already endorsed her. I'm just saying she's endorsed Kamala Harris alongside her husband. But I do really like the idea that, you know, she's just upset every time she's posting about it.
For president.
Let's listen in.
I want to thank you for all you do to support these extraordinary student athletes. And it is good to be here with so many leaders, including, of course, members of Congress, members of our administration, and our extraordinary athletes. Our president, Joe Biden, wanted to be here today. He is feeling much better and recovering fast, and he looks forward to getting back on the road.
Bro, she sped up. Yo, they took her off the bars. I'm not even kidding. Oh, my Lord. I swear to God, she got like a 1.25x speed boost. Oh, thank the Lord, dude. I was worried that she was going to keep, that wine mom energy.
And I wanted to say a few words about our president. Joe Biden's legacy of accomplishment over the past 3 years is unmatched in modern history. In one term, he has already, yes, you may clap. In one term, he has already surpassed the legacy of most presidents who have served 2 terms in office. And I first came to know President Biden through his son, Beau. We worked together as attorneys general in our states, and back then, Beau would often tell me stories about his dad. He would talk about the kind of father and the kind of man that Joe Biden is. The qualities that Beau revered in his father are the same qualities that I have seen every day in our president. His honesty, his integrity, his commitment to his faith and his family, his big heart, and his love, deep love of our country. And I am firsthand witness that every day our President Joe Biden fights for the American people, and we are deeply, deeply grateful for his service to our nation.
Heard from the Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris. I just want to point out that the Vice President will be heading to Wilmington, Delaware later this afternoon to meet with campaign staff there on this, the first, what they're describing, the first full day of her presidential campaign. That, according to updated guidance that we're just getting in from her office and a social media post on X, formerly known as Twitter right now. Kayla Tausche is our White House correspondent. Kayla, give us a sense of what's going on right now, what we should anticipate.
I took a screenshot because I'm trying to post on the JD Vance tweet. I'm trying to quote tweet it and be like, This man has never tasted the sweet nectar. Phony ass fake yokel, dude. JD Vance is fake as dude. He is not a real one, okay? He is not a real one. He is not a real Mountain Dew boy like I am. I'm a Dew boy, and I know a real Dew boy when I see it, okay? Can I say fake ass yokel? Does that work? This fake ass yokel has never tasted the sweet nectar that is Diet Mountain Dew. Yokel is an anti-white slur. No, that's our word. You guys know I'm a real one when it comes to, I don't fuck around with my sodas. Like I'm a real Dew boy all the way. No, I am importing Mountain Dew. Yes. From like California doesn't have all the different soda flavors that I want. So I literally will. I literally will import them into the state of California. Where do I order from? Amazon. I've tried like there's a really good one. The watermelon one is really good. I actually really like it. I haven't been able to find new ones of that. Like I haven't been able to order more crates of that one. Major Melon, Diet Major Melon, excellent. I'm so hog coded on that front. Like I got 2 towers of Zins behind me, and I love Diet Mountain Dew. This is your worst take yet? Sorry, I'm a real American, dude. Sorry that you're facing a red-blooded American for the first time in your goddamn lives, okay? Sorry. Sorry, not sorry, actually. Hey, f this politics shit. Give me that zero sugar diet soda tier list. The OG Diet Mountain Dew has excessive amounts of yellow 5 and is banned in the EU for being dangerous for your health or of your sperm. I noticed my robes were substantially thicker. Yeah, I don't care, bro. Great. It's like birth control. Awesome. I'm a fan. Say less. I ain't trying to have a child anytime soon. You know what I mean? Oh, the Spark flavors are pretty good too. I have tried the Spark flavors. Those are pretty good as well. Also, I'm sorry, but like the EU doesn't have yellow 5. Like, okay, sorry that the American Constitution is much stronger than the inferior EU, the weak EU. Oh man, oh, you can't have a little bit of yellow 5, dude? Yeah, I'm good. I'll keep my chemicals, okay? Anyway, let's continue.
In the coming hours and the next few days.
Well, Vice President Harris has made it clear that she is going to seize the reins of this moment and of this campaign, traveling to Wilmington, as you just mentioned, later this afternoon to try to rally the troops for the 105 days to go, this home stretch of the campaign, where in the last 4 weeks, Harris and her party have become something of underdogs, to use a sports metaphor, as the vice president addresses this audience of athletes. She used these remarks to praise the leadership of President Biden and the accomplishments that he has notched in the last 3 years, and thanking him and the First Lady for the opportunity to be here at this event today, but using some broad language, talking about going for the gold, being a winner, and being supported by a team. It's hard not to sense the metaphors and some of the parallels in what she was saying as she embarks on this journey of her own to try to retake the narrative for the Democratic Party and trying to rally members of the party nationwide and to galvanize.
What is this? My girl drinks Diet Mountain Dew at 8 p.m. every day as birth control. Respect. That's a keeper. There was another guy that said, I love Diet Mountain Dew, and my girlfriend says it's her biggest ick. She said watching me drink it is like watching me smoke cigs. What do I tell her? Smoking cigarettes looks very cool. You should probably look for a new girlfriend. So.
Voters behind her candidacy, Wolf.
Very interesting. We'll see what happens when she's in Wilmington, Delaware. Maria Cardona, it jumps out at me, and I'm sure a lot of other people, she would be the first woman president of the United States if, in fact, she's elected. President Hillary Clinton tried that, didn't work out for her, but this would be a huge, huge moment in American history.
Huge moment, Wolf, but she wouldn't just be the first woman. She'd be the first woman of color, black woman of Asian descent, daughter of immigrants. So many glass ceilings would be just shattered if she makes it. But I also notice this amazing parallel between the event that she's doing now, telling those athletes that they are about to embark on the competition of their life, the ones that are going to the Olympics. She's about to embark on the competition of her life. And that competition is going to be tough. It's going to be something that none of us have ever seen before. They are going to attack her like no other woman in that position has ever been attacked, because there's really been no other woman doing what she's about to do. The other side is going to lie, cheat, and steal. They are going to otherize her, and she's going to need the team of her life as well around her, because when she brings home the gold, it's not going to be just for her. It's going to be for the American people who are looking to her, to the Democrats, to somebody to make sure that we keep our democracy sacred, that we continue to fight for the families that have been given so much with the accomplishments that she just underscored for her and what Joe Biden have been able to accomplish.
Joe Biden first came onto the national stage.
Oh my God. So libbed up. I mean, yeah, they're libbed the fuck up, dude. They are libbed the absolute fuck up. Dumb DNC gonna put up Hillary as Kamala's VP. They can't help but fuck this up. No shot, dude. What do you think of the legal battle that the right will inevitably try to fight? Keep Kamala's name off the ticket. Obviously has no validity, but do you think it'll impact the media voter response? It'll impact the media and voter response in a negative way if the Democratic Party actually uses this to their advantage. This is a massive misstep. I talked about this yesterday extensively. There's two things. There's two avenues of attack against Kamala Harris that are unsuccessful, and one avenue of attack against Kamala Harris that is successful. The successful one is immigration. She's the border czar. They could say that she's responsible for all of the immigrant crimes that are occurring. And the Democrats don't have a very effective counter to that because they've leaned on that narrative that like immigrants are actually responsible for a shit ton of crimes. And that's why the Democratic Party is the one that's going to be the anti-immigration party, which is really stupid, right? Absolutely zero people think that the Democratic Party is going to be an anti-immigration party. All you've done in that situation is basically look at your opponent on their strongest position and give them props for having such strongly held convictions, even though the narrative that is set is completely devoid of the reality on the ground. Immigrants are actually not responsible for a larger share of crimes. As a matter of fact, undocumented migrants are responsible for less crime per capita than natural-born U.S. citizens. So the Democrats don't actually have a good way out of that, and I am actually a little worried about that. This is something that I've criticized the Democratic Party for quite some time, right? Bad instincts overall, bad messaging overall, bad politics, bad policy, okay? So that's number one. That's actually the least strong defense that the Democrats have. Having said that, you got that from John Oliver? Yeah, dude, I got that from John Oliver. I don't know if you know this, but you can go all the way back to like 2016. Okay. I've been a political commentator professionally for the past 10 years. And this is an issue that I've talked about quite extensively for 10 years. If anything, John Oliver's writers got that from me. Okay. Give me a break. Anyway, that's the immigration front. That's actually a weak area for Kamala Harris because, like I said, she was the border czar. They could pin this on her. Having said that, there's two avenues of attack that are bad and have immediate counters, okay? Two avenues of attack that are bad that have immediate counters. Kamala Harris is a woman. They do some misogynistic shit, right? They're like, oh, she fucked her way to the top. She's DEI. She's a black woman. She sucks. She's stupid, right? If the Republicans say these racist and misogynistic things, a smart way to recenter that conversation around not like being a victim of misogyny or whatever, but instead a smart way to counter that conversation would be to go, of course you're going to say this. After all, you're the party that restricted women's access to abortion. That's it. That's it. Immediately recenter all of the misogyny back to the abortion conversation. That's the strongest thing that the Democrats have right now in front of them. That is the strongest conversation that they can go with. Another angle is like, oh, you f***ed your way to the top, but like Donald Trump is a sex pest. He literally has court cases. He has a defamation suit, double defamation suit against E. Jean Carroll. What are we doing here? You really want to have that conversation? Not exactly great. So that's another avenue of attack that has a very quick deflect, okay? Also, the other thing that they can do is this legal battle that they want to launch. That's loser shit. And that's loser shit in the way that the Republican Party actually attempted and failed to do so in the 2020 election. They lost the election and they tried to steal the election through legal and illegal methods. So immediately, that's another strong suit for the Democratic Party. They could just turn around and go, oh, really? You want to fight this in the courts instead of fighting this in November? Didn't you do that last time around as well? Remember January 6th? How well did that play out for you? So those are really effective counters that you have. So if they try this shit, if they try this like whole, oh, we're going to keep Biden on the ticket, even though he has not been the nominee, like he has not been appointed as a nominee, the convention hasn't happened yet. Even if they try to do that, okay, a successful PR campaign can completely take those arguments and flip them and turn the narrative back to two issues that the Republicans are very weak on. What are the two issues the Republicans are very weak on? They want to destroy democracy. Okay, in the eyes of the broader electorate, Republicans are chaotic. They want to destroy democracy. They want to be a dictator. Okay, that's number one. And the second one is abortion. They took away women's bodily autonomy. Anytime a blonde, blue-eyed woman in a state like Texas is having complications due to an ectopic pregnancy and they can't get an abortion in that state, that's on the Republicans. Okay, that's very important. And they need to hammer that shit in. Kamala Harris is a woman. Automatically, that's going to be a conversation point. Anytime people talk about IVF, Kamala Harris could turn around and go, Republicans want to take away IVF. The Southern Baptist Church got together and was openly saying, we need to restrict IVF only a couple months back. These guys are crazy. So that, like I said, is an attempt from the Republican Party that will lead to utter failure. Okay? Damn, they should hire you. They should. Like, actually. Or at least, I know there's at least some staffers that listen to the broadcast. Hopefully, they can come across as very smart in the rooms that they're in if they are listening to what I have to say here. We're not talking about IDF. We're talking about IVF, in vitro fertilization, how Jesus Christ was born. Why would Republicans want to kill democracy? I mean, they've been actively working on that, and for long before Donald Trump ever decided to be a Republican candidate for the presidency. That's like a thing that they've been trying to do for quite some time. Okay? Yeah, Jesus was a test tube baby. God did that. I'm a staffer on the Hill, but my rep is so ridiculously conservative. There's no hope, I fear. They won't be stupid enough to go for a transvestigation against Kamala. I hope they are. I hope they transvestigate Kamala Harris. That's awesome. That's like, one, that's funny, and it's content. And two, that kind of mania is exactly what they're going along with right now. And that's kind of the reason why 2022 was a dud. Like, they fucked themselves over. They tripped themselves up by being insane on the timeline, okay? Anytime they do that, anytime they like go, oh, Kamala Harris is actually a secret man or whatever, you're losing voters in the suburbs, man. You just look insane. You're losing the normal vote, the normal voters. It's awesome. It's great. Like, here is JD Vance is doing that too, by the way. This is here. Put this under the Democrat. I mean, the Republicans want to destroy democracy category. Here it is.
Fight! We got time. Come on. Hey, we are in the fight for the soul of our nation. We are in a fight for our kids and our grandkids, a fight that we can never imagine. I believe wholeheartedly Donald Trump and Butler County's J.D. Vance are the last chance to save our country politically. I'm afraid if we lose this one, it's going to take a civil war to save the country, and it will be saved. It's the greatest experiment in the history of mankind.
Yeah, no, keep doing that, man. That's awesome. Keep this energy, please. Keep this energy, please. This is such a L. It's so awesome. Yeah. No. This is great because they can't help themselves. Republicans cannot help themselves. They've grown far too comfortable in their violent narratives. They literally cannot help themselves. This is a time where the Republican Party is supposed to angle towards the moderates. This is a time where they're supposed to change their narrative. This is a time I was a little worried for a brief moment when Donald Trump said, oh, after I got shot, shit changed. I'm going to be the unity guy now. I was a little worried for a brief moment. And then I remembered that Republicans can't help themselves. Okay. They are far, far too invested and far too comfortable. They just cannot help themselves. This is like the culture war button. They just got to keep hitting it. They got to keep hitting it over and over and over again, harder than I hit the top of the hour ad break button at the top of the hour when there's a 3-minute ad break. Which, by the way, of course, if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe. And you can do that for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. Okay. Oh, this is like poison for moderates. Okay. This is great. You will lose Pennsylvania with this narrative. That's a lock. That's a guarantee. Okay. Every person living in a Pennsylvania suburb is going to be so grossed out by shit like this. Go ahead. Keep popping off. Okay. It would be even better if he turned around and started talking about how much further they're going to restrict abortion or IVF or some shit. You know what I mean? It's great. If we lose, we're doing civil war. Okay. Great take, man. Definitely the energy you want to keep up. I've talked about how most people don't really give a shit about January 6th. There are people who obviously do care about like the democracy is on the ballot narrative. Okay. There are some who look at like January 6th as like a gross violation of American principles. And this is the most effective way to remind those people that, you know, these guys want to do it again. That's it. Go ahead. Feed into that every day.
And if we come down to a civil war, I'm glad we got people like Schmitty and the Bikers for Trump on our side.
Oh, he followed it up. He said, we got the bikers on our side in the Civil War. You bring up the unifier tone and he immediately shits all over it. Lol, you are a prophet. It's not that I'm a prophet. It's just that I know the Republican Party. I know them well. I do so much hogwash. I am obsessed with the Republicans. I'm obsessed with the way they message. I love it. I think it's so funny. I think it's awesome. So that's it. I know that they cannot help themselves. On the one hand, they're like, oh, we got to do more moderate messaging. We got to do more moderate messaging. Here's another insane thing that if they keep that narrative up, here's another insane thing that is going to look really bad. Kamala Harris has no biological children. Go ahead. Run with that. Please. Please run with that. Okay? Please. Great narrative. Great message. Wow. Treating women like they're cows to be bred. Gonna play out excellent. Okay? These motherfuckers are gonna lose Kentucky and shit if they do that. They're gonna lose the 52% white women vote if they keep doing that shit. And obviously, a lot of women are still obviously misogynistic, for sure. But like, there is a certain level. There is a certain level that you cannot go beyond. If you just start being like, yeah, no, why is Kamala Harris not barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen? You're cooked. It's gross. There are better ways to make these inferences, better ways to make these arguments. And the Paul Ryan types have completely left the Republican Party at this point. And everyone is trying to do their own shitty version of Donald Trump. And what people don't realize is Donald Trump is a uniquely singular force of charisma that is able to narrate these positions in a way that is appealing to the hogs, but no one else can recreate that. That's why I say he's the white man's Obama. You can't have that same narrative. And even with Donald Trump, that narrative is still like genuinely toxic to many people. That narrative is still why you saw a bunch of people in 2020 swap votes over to Joe Biden. I'm telling you right now, that shit absolutely is the easiest way to hand this election over to the Democratic ticket. I am like, this is exactly what I'm thinking of that makes me feel more confident in Donald Trump not winning re-election. Okay?